First thing to make for dinner is the rice. Boop. Push the button, done. Seriously, if you eat a lot of rice, you ought to consider getting a rice maker. Set it off to the side and move on to the next thing. Time to prep the asparagus. I know you'll hear people say that you can snap one end off and then just cut them all to match, but I disagree. Each stalk is different. Like this one is particularly thick and the bottom is really woody. Grab it at the end, bend it, snap. You'll get the tender shoot and the woody stalk will go in. For this one, the whole thing is tender, so I just want to snap the very end off. Do this for all of your asparagus, prep all of them, set them off to the side, and then it'll be time to make our sauce. Garlic is first. You're going to want about 3 to 5 cloves, depending on the size of them. Will depend on how many you want. Give them a rough chop, nothing fancy, just get them into slightly smaller pieces. Grab a little saucepan. You're going to put all of the garlic in there. Don't waste any of it. Get all of that nice goodness in the pan. Then after that, a little crushed red pepper. If you don't like spice, completely skip this step. If you love spice, add a little bit extra. But we like heat in this family, so crushed red pepper is life. The last extra ingredient is some green onion. Get 3, maybe 4 if they're really tiny. Cut off the little roots and give them a rough chop. Don't worry about getting all the little stringies off because it's just going to saute in a pan with the rest of the sauce. Get all of the white part and most of the light green part. Throw it in. Now for the final, most important ingredient, a bottle of teriyaki sauce. You're going to want 2/3 of a cup of this good stuff. I know it seems really gloopy. Don't worry, it'll thin out with the heat. And you're also going to add an additional 1/3 cup of water to really help it loosen up so that you can put it all over our salmon and be amazing. Turn your stovetop on to medium-low. Set the pan over it. Get a little stir if you want to. And then let the heat get to work incorporating all those flavors. Once it really starts to bubble, go ahead and turn the heat down to low. And move on to the next thing, which finally is the salmon. Whenever you bake salmon, you want to have something on the pan, either foil or parchment paper. I like parchment paper because then I don't have to oil underneath the skin of the salmon in between it and the foil. This is about a 2-pound fillet. It's a little bit bigger than 2 pounds actually, and it will be gone in one night. My boys love salmon. If you prefer to get yours into already sliced up fillets, awesome. We're going to go ahead and season our fish before we put our sauce on because we're not going to bake it the whole time with the sauce. Otherwise, it will burn. So we're going to sprinkle generously all over the top some onion powder, garlic powder, ginger powder, regular salt, as well as black pepper. This will just help it have some nice flavor as it starts baking in the oven. You're going to put it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes, depending on the size of your fish. Take it out at that point. You'll notice that the outside looks done, but the inside is not. This is when we want to put our sauce on. Be pretty generous. Slather it on all over. Don't be afraid of getting those chunks of garlic or chunks of green onion or even chunks of red pepper. Make sure you get it down on the sides as well as all over the top and just give it a really nice good coating. Then you're going to put it back in the oven for additional 8 to 10 minutes, again, depending on the size of your fish. But before you do that, time to put your asparagus on. Try to arrange your asparagus so that they're not laying on top of each other. This is why we set the salmon kind of off center. This may take a little bit of finagling. Put long ones one way, short ones another way, not have them all in the same spot. That is completely okay. Just try to get all of the asparagus to fit on your pan. Now time to season that beautiful green vegetable. Notice how my finger is covering the spigot a little bit. This is sesame oil and it is potent. So this is a light drizzle, light. You can smell it the moment you open the bottle. It's wonderful, but we don't want a ton. Then again, a little bit of a squirt of vegetable oil, some salt, black pepper, and again, that wonderful trifecta, ginger powder, onion powder, garlic powder. This time, go a little bit easy on the onion powder. Then you're going to toss them up with your hands, just to help make sure that everything is coated. And again, try to relay them flat so that there is no overlapping. And then back in the oven we go. Remember, 400 degrees for another 8 to 10 minutes, depending on the thickness of your fish. Oh, what a gorgeous piece of fish. Notice we've got those bubbles of the sauce bubbling up at the very top. That is exactly what we want, and we want more of it. So get the little bit of sauce you've got left, Again, I know it's not a lot. Make sure you get those chunks of flavor, the garlic and green onion and crushed red pepper that have been cooking and marinating together. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Spread it generously all over the rest of the fish. Dab it on carefully, though, so that you don't wipe up the layer of sauce already under it. And now what we're going to do, after I taste this asparagus, that is, oh, perfect. We're going to put this under the broiler because we want that blast of heat to really caramelize those sugars and make the sauce bubble all over the top of it. This is very important. Do not walk away. You stand at your oven and you count in intervals of 30 until you see bubbling all over the top of that salmon. If it scorches, oh, it's going to be so sad. Look at this beautiful piece of fish. It was bubbling all over the top, and now it's time to plate. Remember our rice? Done. Perfect. Every time. Seriously, get a rice maker. It's the best. And here's dinner. Teriyaki salmon with roasted asparagus and steamed rice. You know, you still got a little bit of extra sauce in that pan. Dab it on the rice if you want. Maybe even a little sriracha. Delicious. As always, you can find the full recipe for the salmon on my blog, lifeinreallife.net, and enjoy.